coffee-themed sneaker shop. And I was like, actually, that might be kind of cool.
They say you can tell a lot about a person by their shoes.
Sneakers, for me, they're an opportunity to express yourself. Yeah.
Well, I guess that makes Ian Williams a person with a lot of...
the art on your feet.
Soul.
Here we probably have like maybe 40 or 50 shoes.
Sneakers, to be specific, each one special.
The colors and materials and the stories that all go behind it.
Stories that line the walls of Williams' shop in Old Town Portland, a shop that does not, interestingly enough, sell these shoes. Yep, this is Portland's finest sneaker-themed coffee shop.
Coffee should be dope is our theme or our motto.
Dead Stock Coffee.
We're like the Disney World of coffee, I guess. You know, we just want people to be happy, honestly.
The former Nike janitor turned shoe developer,
The yellow one.
decided 5 years ago to start his own business,
Drip.
building it from his sneakers up, moving from a cart to this shop in Old Town Chinatown.
Yeah, I love it down here.
His goal, to bring people of all backgrounds together over a cup of joe.
So this is a great place to kind of act as my power source, right? To stay connected and all that good stuff.
At a time when chatting with friends at the local coffee shop seems like a distant memory,
Are you new to the neighborhood?
Williams is brewing up new ones,
Oh, I love it. I love the vibe.
which is helping him keep his doors open during this pandemic when so many others are closing.
We just have always been that community space, thankfully. And so it wasn't, nobody was going to let that go away.
It's a success story that is getting noticed. This week, Williams made Portland Business Journal's top 40 under 40 list.
I've gotten a lot of phone calls over the last few days from people.
Listen to this.
The city of Portland, Oregon is known for many things.
He was even the focus of an MSNBC special about small businesses surviving COVID.
Then Dead Stock Coffee.
So they had like lights up, microphones everywhere.
For a man who has filled many shoes, these latest ones are some of Williams' proudest.
It's nice to be able to be recognized for a lot of hard work, and but also to see there's still, more things that need to be done.
Yes, there is more to come. Williams has plans to open a second Dead Stock Coffee on the east side.
Yep, Dead Stock Dose coming soon. It was supposed to actually open in January, but Corona.
You don't see too many lines to go into any shops anymore, so this is one of them.
But ask Williams and he'll tell you he doesn't measure success in lines or even sales, but in laughs and smiles, albeit covered.
I think he's been great for the community.
It's a good place, and he seems like just be a really good brother.
It's almost like he's the unofficial mayor of Old Town.
Yeah, I think it's true.
If the shoe fits.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll run for mayor of Portland one day, you never know.
It's always good to see that here in Portland, man.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a good one.
In Old Town Portland, Keely Chalmers, KGW News.
James?
Yeah.
204 customers.
Yes.
About 30 pickups a day.
James' neighbor recycling service.
Let's head to Nancy's house, okay?
4 times a week.
It's the Cranston? Yeah.
21-year-old James Harris is a busy young man.
Do your thing.
All right.
What started with just a few neighborhood customers 3 years ago has grown into a business that now serves more than 200 households.
I knew it was going to get big. I know didn't expect it to quite get this big.
You see, James collects all those things that are not allowed in normal curbside bins. Things like
Plastic bags,
utensils, even electronics and batteries. Neighbors sign up for the service, pay a fee, and James does the rest.
I'm so proud of him.
shoes.
Look at him, he's doing an amazing job.
Mom Kathy says the business has not only been good for the neighborhood,
Oh, absolutely.
That's it.
it's been a blessing for James.
Then we return the bucket back.
Who was diagnosed with autism when he was 4 years old. School was a challenge, socializing even harder.
If you would have seen him when he was younger, you would never have pictured him where he is now.
But when it came to recycling, it was like all those barriers
Chip mark.
came down.
I mean, when he was younger, he wouldn't talk to anybody. He'd run away from people. I couldn't really take him anywhere.
Now, instead of running away from people, James embraces them.
You are so great.
Yeah.
Keep up the good work.
Yeah.
He also walks dogs and does other things too, so he's just an amazing young man. doing a great job.
It's just brought him out of his shell. He's more social, and he's proud of himself.
When we first met James, he was operating his business out of his mom's SUV.
Okay, it's time to unload.
Now he uses a much bigger van. He even has volunteers.
I'm Brand Hall.
Zoe Davis Wolford.
Nathan.
Students from the Victory Academy who, like James, have autism and a passion for recycling.
I just like recycling because it's important. We just keep the world clean.
You guys want to work for me someday?
Yeah.
He is a big inspiration. He really is. And it's wonderful that he wants to include others in his project and in his dream.
A dream that year by year is becoming a reality. When I asked James 3 years ago what his goal was, he said it was to live on his own. And today?
He is able to live on his own now. He has a little house there. He has an income.
A successful business owner, a role model, and an inspiration to all of us who would like to make our world a little better.
Save our planet from things that's being thrown away and put in landfills and dumps and places like that. Other than that, we just recycle and they get remade. It's just a lot of work. And more of that.
Is it worth it?
Oh, totally.
Yeah, this is kind of like the epicenter of all the weird Portland stuff.
Sitting on a street corner in southeast Portland,
I think it looks like a tiny spaceship made of wood.
It's not a spaceship.
Is where on most days
Some of them just think it's the sweetest little thing.
you'll find it.
Yeah, it's really impressive.
Oh, I thought he was going to start homebrewing.
It's tiny and adorable.
Nope, this is no spacecraft. But it is something we'll likely see a lot more of in the future, especially on days like this.
Yeah, it's freezing today. This is definitely a Long John's kind of day.
It's the latest creation from Portland native Simon Lyle.
This is a sauna.
That's right, a homemade sauna.
So I made sure to make it long enough for me to lay down comfortably.
Simon came up with the idea after seeing something similar on a Scandinavian architect's website.
I've been told that you actually pronounce it sauna. This is the door to the fireplace.
But in perfect Portland style, Simon found a way to make his sauna out of almost all salvaged stuff.
I basically built it out of scraps that I found around, wood from job sites, a piece of plastic I believe I found in a dumpster. This is an old air compressor.
And while that is certainly...
It's clever.
It is not what makes Simon's sauna so special. Those salvaged metal legs can come off and the entire hut can become mobile.
Then it's ready to roll.
Hooked up to the back of Simon's bike.
I need a grinder to grind the lock off the bicycle. It's too cold. Right.
Of course, sometimes it's easier than others to get going.
Yeah, it's too cold to unlock the bike lock. Hopefully it'll warm up later.
But a little tuck and tape and Simon is off.
Got everything we need.
Pedaling through the streets of Portland and all the curious
Whoa.
glances.
Oh yeah. Once I tell them it's a sauna, they just get really excited. And they're just like, oh, I love saunas. That is cool. Wow. Sauna.
Because when it gets cold, we all want to be warm. Which is why this story isn't just about a sauna.
Is it going to be over this way a little?
It's about a solution.
This is going to be nice. It's nice to not have to do any extra touch-up on that wood.
You see, Simon doesn't just make saunas.
Okay.
He builds homes, specifically tiny homes. His goal is to build tiny homes that can be heated the same way his sauna is, for folks like Tony J.
But this house right here is mine.
Tony lives in one of Portland's homeless camps.
All right, this is my little tiny house.
And while he does live in a tiny house,
I got this one.
The only way he can stay warm...
This one. I got that one.
Lots.
And I got that one.
And lots.
And I sleep in between these two quilts.
Of blankets.
Then I got a winter blanket.
His and all the shelters here do not have heat.
Well, it's pretty chilly.
But a tiny home heated much like a sauna.
Sounds pretty good to me.
They deserve that dignity of having warmth.
There's all my sleeping bags, my clothes.
Which is why Simon's next project is to turn something like this into someone's very small but mobile and heated
Let's get this fired up.
home.
As soon as I have an extra moment, I'll start building that. It'll be comfortable to sit in shortly.
But don't worry, he'll still be lighting up his sauna velo and inviting friends and neighbors inside.
Ooh, it's feeling good.
And keeping Portland weird.
It's getting warm.
Yeah. And a little wild.
Starts to shed in the layers. Definitely.
But also warm.
Yeah, usually we're in underwear or less.
All right, I think that we're going to have to get a little more comfortable.
In southeast Portland, Keely Chalmers, KGW News.
To ODFW.
Sometimes it takes just a few words jotted down on a piece of paper to start a story.
Did the best I could to keep the advancing fire away from these structures.
This one starts
Had to tear down some fencing to slow fire spread.
with these words jotted down by Rob Maris.
You know, just some random resident.
I'm at Lieberg Reservoir.
But on the night of September 8th,
The forest there, that's where the fire is right now.
he was anything but
One of the fires anyways.
just a random resident.
I was able to stop the grass going further by the gate. I just have to try and keep this line.
That's Rob talking in this video he took as he battled back the flames of the Holiday Farm fire burning along the Mackenzie River east of Eugene. He was fighting to save homes, all by himself.
That gate doesn't go up.
I'm in the Lieberg hatchery area, and there were a couple of homes that, well, they almost got taken out by the fire. So I'm kind of shaky. It's weird being here.
It's been weeks since Rob took that video, but his memory of that night is as bright as the fire.
The forest over here was lit up, and a lot of heat coming off of it. I was using my arm while I was running to try and just block, you know, kind of the heat from the blaze.
His initial plan was to knock on doors and warn people of the encroaching fire, but when he found no one inside and saw the flames closing in, he picked up the only tools he could find: a shovel, broom,
And this is actually the broom that I had used.
and 2 fire extinguishers.
It was kind of a joke having 2 fire extinguishers with the world ablaze around you.
And started to beat
And it was kind of like this funny scenario of like whack a fire.
back the flames.
For about 3.5 hours. It was chaotic running from spot fire to spot fire.
It was a close fight.
This was the fire. That's the house.
But in the end, Rob kept the flames from the homes and then left a note explaining what he'd done.
I'd want to know.
As for why he did
That
it,
was-
well, those words don't come as easy.
Yeah. Sorry about this. Here I go again. It's just it hits me hard. Some of my very first memories of fishing as a really young child to being on the river here.
You see, these aren't just any homes. These are part of the Lieberg hatchery, a place anyone who lives near the Mackenzie River knows well.
This place is a huge extension of why we call this home.
So it burnt right up to the lawn.
Eric Whitholm is the hatchery manager and lives in one of those homes Rob saved.
So I evacuated out around 2 a.m.
He knows how close that fire got. He saw it crest the hilltop as he and others raced to save the hatchery's fish. Working in smoke-choked air, staff released more than 1 million Chinook, steelhead, and trout into the Mackenzie River.
And just down the line, boom, 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 releasing fish as we went.
Our water supply was already taken away, and we needed to get these fish out there as quickly as possible.
This is unprecedented. You know, we've never released this many fish at one time.
It was 4 months early, but just in the nick of time.
And right when we were in the vehicles heading out, I looked back and that's where the flames started coming over.
All the ponds were empty, except one.
So this is the sturgeon pond.
Those fish couldn't be released.
This is always the highlight.
But when word got out they were in trouble, more heroes stepped in.
I'll tell you the story.
Firefighters from across the area saved the iconic fish by pumping water into their pond.
That started what would be a 3-day kind of a task of providing water and oxygen to the fish.
They took this video of their effort, which paid off. The hatchery didn't lose a single fish.
We felt that we were all right to do what we had to do.
In fact, 3 weeks later, it already has a new pond full of Chinook salmon.
These are brood fish.
And it didn't lose a single home.
Yeah.
Because along this river, this hatchery is more than just a place for fish. It's a place worth fighting for. A place people will go above and way beyond to save.
When we were releasing the fish, we actually saw the flames starting coming over the hill. And
then offer a quick thanks.
Yeah, just so much appreciation. Thank you.
Or leave a simple note.
I don't know if that'll sink in, but fully, but it feels good.
Just because.
You go through a large fire like this and there's a lot of loss, and so you hold on to those small victories you have sometimes.
It's going to be cool to be part of really history.
It is something that happens every day. The sunrise. It is often a breathtaking sight.
It's going to come up over Mount Hood here on the left side, I think.
It's why Steve Noble started his day
I got up at 3.
so early. But on this day, in this field, in Oregon wine country, it wasn't the rise of the sun that brought Steve here.
Yeah.
It was something much more rare.
I'm here to photograph the eclipse.
Steve was one of the hundreds who came to Stoller Family Estate Winery to get a front row view of the total solar eclipse.
Good morning. Oh, nice clear day.
Many, like Deb Whitaker and Beth Deaver, camped overnight.
Yeah, cool. And we thought, what better place out here in the open where there's hardly any lights or anything to come and see the eclipse.
An event they had heard so much about.
People are drinking mimosas and it's only not even 8 o'clock. It's good.
But in all honesty, didn't know if they should believe all the hype.
Here you go. Talk to us in about 10:30.
The totality would be, I think, what people are really looking for.
And then there was Ron Saxton, who we found in the hours before the eclipse, planning out his plan of attack.
Do you spend time looking just at it or trying to see what happens in the surround, listen for the quietness and that kind of thing?
Look at that.
It's amazing.
Oh my gosh.
No doubt there was a lot of thought, a lot of unknowns, and certainly a lot of anticipation in this vineyard today.
Everything's perfect.
We are ready. We are so ready. We are so excited about this. It's going to be great.
Until it happened. First, the partial eclipse.
Wow.
The winds picked up. The temperature started to drop, and so did the analogies.
honestly, it looks like Pac-Man right now.
Right now, it's a banana.
And then, what so many had waited a lifetime to see, finally came.
Oh my gosh. Here it comes. Look at this. Ah! 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 Yeah! Woohoo! Yes! Woohoo! Yes! Oh my God! Look up! Oh my! Oh my! Oh my!
Oh, you see the ring up there. You can see the ring.
You can see it. Wow! Wow!
It didn't last long. About 26 seconds of totality here.
Wow! I just have chills.
That's cool.
That was so cool.
That is like the coolest thing ever.
So cool. It's just so amazing. I'm so excited about this. It's so cool.
Much better than I ever expected.
I know. It was so much better. It was so much better. It was so much better.
It's over within seconds, right? Yeah.
But it was long enough.
Nothing's ever compared to it. There's not even words in the dictionary to explain how fabulous it was. Oh, I've got goosebumps from head to toe.
To get a view of a once-in-a-lifetime event and a photograph
Wow, this is absolutely amazing. Yeah, I think I got it.
that will last even longer.
Absolutely was worth it.
Yay for Mother Nature. Super. That was just incredible. It was so incredible. It's like, wow. Yeah, wow.